Hey everybody, Nick Kozel here with That Sounds Terrifying. Just a quick announcement before we get into this episode. The show will be taking a little bit of a vacation. Yep, a summer break. So That Sounds Terrifying will be ending this season with this episode, and we will restart in September. But we have lots of exciting things happening over the summer, including some short tales that will be shared. And we have a live event coming up in October that we're prepping for. So some more exciting details to come on that. But without further ado, here's the last episode of season 2.
Hello, welcome back to That Sounds Terrifying. But with my cheerful greeting, you wouldn't know that it's all that terrifying. Um, how are you doing, Nick?
Doing fabulous.
You're doing fabulous.
Yes.
That's good.
Yes. Absolutely fabulous.
Fabulous. I don't believe you, but I won't go
Yeah.
any because we're on air.
We're on air. We're on air on a recording.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Right now, I am fabulous.
Good. Yes, for the for the sake of the podcast, you're
For
fabulous.
love the fan. Z.
Um, so I have a big long story for today.
Cool.
And I heard that you have a shorter story.
Yeah, we can. I can do that. Short story, long story. That's good format.
We can do that.
Cool.
Fabulous.
Do you want to kick us off, or do you want me to start with mine?
Yours. Short story, long story.
Awesome. That works for me. So here we go. This is from one of my favorite places to read right now, the No Sleep thread on Reddit, and by
Yes.
Blair Daniels. Okay.
Oh, she put her whole name on there.
Yes. Well,
She
we
wants you to
think.
know
Yes. Thank you,
what happened.
Blair. Thank you, Miss Daniels or Mr. Daniels. It could be both. I don't know. All right. Don't be assuming my gender, right?
Correct. We
Right.
don't want to do that.
So, all right. Here we go. Without further ado, I am a lifeguard. There's someone who won't get out of the deep end of the pool. The storm clouds have been rolling in for about 20 minutes now, in a dark, angry gray overcasts. I was sitting in the usual lifeguard chair waiting for the first peal of thunder so I could blow that whistle and order everyone out of the pool. The pool was crowded. It had been a scorching 92 degrees earlier, although now, with the impending storm, it had cooled down. I scanned the people swimming, a few scattered seniors, a whole boatload of rambunctious kids. Not a lot of young or childless people. I don't blame them. I wouldn't be here either. Lightning shot across the sky, and I grabbed my whistle and blew. Everyone made their way to the stairs. Some of the kids were screaming, upset that the swim time was over. Oh, boo hoo. A saggy old, hefty man lifted himself out of the pool. A cute mom in a bikini ran past to chase her running toddler, and the thunder rumbled in. I felt the first few drops of rain hit my shoulders. I checked the time, almost 4:30. We had to walk to keep everyone out of the pool for 30 minutes whenever we saw lightning. As the pool cleared out, I noticed there was one person who wasn't moving towards the exit. They were way at the deep end of the pool, facing away from me. I think I could only see their head above water, just a dark oval bobbling up and down on the surface. I grabbed my whistle and blew it again. The head didn't react. And then I felt bad. This person could be deaf or hearing impaired. I climbed down from my post and started walking towards the deep end of the pool. Everyone else was out of the pool now. Most of them had cleared that area too, going home or to the little snack bar we had at the far edge of the property. I stared at the head bobbing up and down, and I felt a sickly feeling in my chest. Something felt off about it, but I couldn't quite put my finger on it. Why? Another finger of lightning shot across the sky. Excuse me, I called about 10 yards away. You have to get out of the pool. There's lightning. They didn't respond. I stepped forward, my heart starting to pound. Something is wrong here, really, really wrong. If I were alone, definitely would have run the other way, but still, there's other lifeguards and tons of people back there. I stepped closer and I could see them better. It was pretty dark from the storm, and the rain was now disturbing the surface of the pool, but it looked like a woman with long, dark hair, just treading water in the deep end of the pool. Why would you just float like that in the same position, treading water? Even if she is deaf, didn't she notice everyone else getting out? Didn't she see the lightning? The rain picked up, started to pelt down. The woman didn't see to react. As I got closer, I could make her out, her soaking wet hair melting into the pool, like she dunked her head in. I could see her pale shoulders poking above the water. Wait, Unless she was wearing a pale beige bathing suit, she was naked under the water. Okay, this is bad, really bad. I stopped and turned around to call out to Drew, the other lifeguard on duty, but when I turned, I froze. The entire pool area was empty. Not only empty, but just abandoned. The umbrellas were grayish and tattered. The wooden picnic tables were splintering. Even the pool water was murky green, darkening to black beneath the surface. What the hell? I must have been dreaming. This can't be real. This can't. A splash made me turn back toward the woman. I looked up to see that she had disappeared. Just a rolling, turbulent spot of water where she had been. What? Where did she go? I immediately jumped away from the edge of the pool in case she was coming towards me, but I didn't see her anywhere. I scanned the murky water, but it was impossible to see into it. Hell with this, I'm going home. I broke into a run towards the pool entrance, and that's when I saw her. She was climbing out of the pool, taking the steps one by one, the shallow end. Her dark hair trailed all the way to her rear. Her skin looked impossibly white in the dark shadows from the storm, almost like she was faintly glowing. She turned and slowly started making her way towards me. What do I do? I could run past her. There wasn't much space between her and the fence, though. I could run the other way around the other pool and to the other exit, but she'd just turn around and intercept me. Where is everyone? She was a little closer now. I could make out two black dots of where her eyes were on her face. They were too dark. Her eyes were pure black, or like she had just hollow pits where her eyes had been. I couldn't tell exactly. I ran over to the fence. I stuck my foot in the chain link and began to climb. I could only do this because I wasn't wearing shoes. Manipulating my toes to the gaps, I got halfway up and glanced back. Oh no, she was much closer than I expected. About 15 feet away. She was naked and pale and bluish, and she was like she had drowned in the water. Her face was gaunt, her mouth was open, and her eyes were pure black. I scrambled at the fence, and I felt a cold hand lock onto my ankle. I didn't look down. I couldn't. I just knew it was her hand yanking me back. I kicked and screamed, "Let me go." I think my fear delighted her. I heard a little ch sound escape from her lips as she was laughing, but I didn't quite know how. I kicked as hard as I could. I felt her fingernails claw into my ankle, but then I was free. I scrambled the rest of the way to the fence and I plummeted to the ground. My body hit hard. I lay there for a second, gasping for breath. When I opened my eyes, the sounds of the pool had returned. I sat up and I noticed I was still in the pool side of the fence, but all the people were back. The pool was clear. The storm was passing. Warm sunlight started to brighten the shadows. Hey man, you okay? I looked up and Drew was standing over me. What happened? I don't know. You don't remember? Did you knock yourself out or something? What time is it? I croaked. 5:23. It was about 4:30 when I blew that whistle. I lost an hour. Did you see her? I asked. Who? He replied. That weird woman in the deep end of the pool. She wasn't coming out when I blew the whistle. No, I don't think so, he said. I went home rattled, but after dinner I started to feel sick too. Slight fever, nauseous. I chalked it up to nerves, but it got worse and worse. Till I crouched over the toilet, gagging and retching. I'd thrown up everything, and I was still retching, my entire body convulsing. Just when I thought I couldn't take it anymore, something shot out of my mouth and plopped into the toilet. A tangled clump of long black hair.
Oh, that's gross.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes me want to puke.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Oh, what did you think of that story?
It's funny that yours mentions a time slip
Yeah.
because mine's about time slips. And I've been so interested in time slips lately, and I don't know why. I must have heard a story about it. But
Yeah.
they lost an hour on this
Yeah.
like negative energy thing. That's creepy. Like
Yeah.
some like dead naked demon thing,
Yeah.
being I'm gonna mess with you.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, it's
ugh,
funny because when we started, and we don't plan this like at all. We never really share the stories
no.
beforehand, and so when you said time slip, I'm like, that is so funny.
Yeah,
So that was the story that I wanted to share, and it kind of because it's summer, I'm like, okay, we got to share some summery stories.
sure.
Um, and so one of the things that we used to do as a family, we used to go to this pool in the Cortland area, and then they also had this pond, and they both sort of had the same like lifeguard system. And it
Mhm.
was funny because anytime there was lightning, it seemed like anywhere in the state, they would close down the pool. And we would do that. We'd be like, oh, and there's been a couple times like where it was just absolutely nothing and we didn't hear anything. And we're just convinced that the lifeguards are just, they want to get out, we just want
Yeah.
to leave.
Yeah.
So one time there was even there's lightning in Syracuse. I'm like, that's like 45 minutes
Yeah, that's forever away from
like,
Portland.
what the heck, man? Um, but anyways, like, yeah, I mean that's got to be creepy as all hell to be like doing one thing, blow a whistle, and then all of a sudden you lost an hour and you had this weird dream about
Some awful,
crazy grandma lady.
creepy.
Yeah,
Um, ugh, yeah, no, that's gross. That sounds like an entity that just wanted attention and like to like infect someone with grossness. I wonder how they felt after all that.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it kind of like gave me Ring vibes, the movie
Mhm.
Ring, And then there's like been a couple movies where, like, I guess I'm thinking of Poltergeist, but there was another movie where I felt like someone hacked up some hair.
Ugh.
So
Oh,
yeah, the
no.
hairball. Yeah,
Well, that was
like
in No Sleep, so it's probably a fake story. But
probably
um I could see that happening because time slips are real. And I think
time
that's why I'm so interested in them.
right. Well, and we can just talk to Blair Daniels and be like, "Hello, Blair.
Blair.
Was this real?
Yes. Was this an experience or not?
Was this
Uh,
experience?"
I doubt it, but
Yeah.
it was a good story. It was creepy as hell, and I loved the imagery in it,
Mm. It was
Like
well written. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, I loved that. But ugh, oh God. I was mowing my lawn yesterday and I was listening to True Scary Stories podcast.
Mhm.
Because I love me some scary stories.
Sure.
Uh, in case you couldn't guess.
No, you hate them,
Uh,
and
yeah. But I love to listen to them while I'm mowing my lawn because I can like really focus because you're doing nothing else,
yeah,
right?
you're just mowing
Um,
over your kids' toys and stuff.
yeah, exactly. Um, but I was listening to one and it was about ghosts in Indonesia and how they are a lot like the Ring, like the there's like one particular ghost and I cannot remember the name that they called her, but she there's like a ghost that is a woman and her black hair covers her face just like the Ring.
Yeah.
And but like people record seeing her like over centuries and centuries, maybe even millennia. Like they've recorded seeing this woman and it was so interesting because it was the long black hair
Mhm.
and if you hear her far away, you can hear her laugh. And if it sounds like it's coming from a distance, it means she's close. But if it sounds like she's like right in your
Oh,
ear,
yeah.
it means she's actually far away.
That's crazy.
It's so creepy. And I was like, how would you know that? How
Yeah.
would you know?
Yeah.
If she's far away, why is she like able to like
Like
laugh?
opposite day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is happening? Because that would
Yes.
just like really mess with you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So I've been binging Radio Rental.
Yes, same.
Um, and I just listened to a story about like a hunter who was going to hunt wild boar
Hmm.
at night with night vision.
Hmm.
That was a creepy one. I don't want to give it away
Yeah.
to you because you're listening,
Yeah.
but something similar. Like
Yeah.
they call out to him, and like it's
Yeah.
crazy.
No, those are
So yeah, yeah. So, but you have
um,
a nice long story, so I want to give you some time to read
I
that.
do. Let me
So,
pull it up. Let
so
me pull it up. This is um from page R 1453 on Reddit. And this is called The Time Slip slash Glitch. They were not of this era. I don't really know what to call this. A glitch, a time slip, or just a weird coincidence. I'm not really sure. I'm from West Yorkshire, UK. I am a 27-year-old woman, and this happened in 2010 when I was 15, and I remember it as if it was yesterday. Here's my story. Me, my mom, grandma, and friend all went to a local coastal town for the day. Somewhere we had been many times before, at least 3 to 4 times a year because we have family who live there. Ever since my mom was a child, we have always traveled the same route through the countryside rather than the motorway because we like to stop off at what we call the quote unquote halfway house to grab a sandwich on the way and drink on the way back. We always stop at the same places because it's just part of the routine and what we've always done and enjoyed. On this particular day, everything was normal. We had driven to the coast, stopped off for our sandwich, the sun was shining. It was a normal, lovely day. However, on the way back was when it got weird. We set off mid to late afternoon because we wanted to miss all the evening traffic and to make sure that my friend got home at a decent time. The journey felt normal. We traveled on the same roads as we always had, and we were planning to stop off at the usual pub for a drink, non-alcoholic. In the space of about 5 to 10 minutes, we noticed the weather had really changed. It had gone from being glorious, warm, sunny to being gray, overcast, and quite cold. We didn't think much of it, and then my mom said, "Oh, I don't know where I am." Confused, we just said she must have taken a wrong turn somewhere, but she was adamant that she had been on that same road for the last 8 miles, a road we've traveled countless times. We wondered if the road had been altered since the last time we visited because now none of us recognized the road or the surroundings. We looked for familiar landmarks that would hopefully guide us in the right direction, but there was nothing but fields for miles. We began to notice that the road we were on was very quiet, and we seemed to be the only car driving along it. Nothing had passed us in what seemed like ages. Me and my friend began to get anxious because of how weird this felt, and we were worried about being lost. My mom calmed us down and said not to worry, and that the next village we drive through, we will pull over so she can set her nav. In 2010, phones didn't really have maps or anything like that.
Ancient.
Not like we do today. So it was probably her Garmin. About 10 minutes later, we saw a couple of houses in the distance. As we approached, we noticed there were two semi-detached houses, a small farmhouse and a yard, and an old-fashioned level crossing for trains and a pub. My grandma suggested we pull into the pub so my mom could set up her Garmin and we could have our halfway house drink while we were there to help calm our nerves. We entered the pub. It was empty except for an old man in a rocking chair in front of a burning fire. He stopped the rocking chair abruptly and stared at us as we walked in, as if in shock. He was wearing brown work trousers with braces, black boots, a cream shirt with a knitted vest, a flat cap, and he was smoking a pipe, as if he stepped straight out of 1910. He didn't speak, he just stared. We approached the bar. The barmaid, landlady, was walking behind the bar and halted in her tracks as soon as she saw us, again as if in shock. We asked if the pub was open due to it being so quiet, and she stuttered, "Oh, yes, it is. What can I get you?" We all asked for soft drinks, me and my friend being underage at the time and my mom being the driver. The lady scrambled around getting us drinks, then looked baffled when we tried to pay with bank cards. She used paper and pencil to add up the cost of our drinks, so we paid with loose change to make it easier for her. To the right of us was a narrow staircase, and down ran a little girl about the age of 7 or 8. She was wearing white tights, brown brogue-like shoes, and a burgundy pinafore-style embroidered dress with a hand-knit cardigan, and her hair was in ringlets. She gasped and also looked surprised to see us, and looked between us and the lady behind the bar, presumably her mother. We thanked them and took the drinks outside to one of the wooden tables. The man in the rocking chair began to rock again and watched us intently as we walked out. We sat down outside with hushed voices, spoke about how weird the whole situation was. We noticed how there wasn't anyone else around, no other cars in the car park, no other people in the pub or beer garden, and no people walking the streets near the houses. The place seemed deserted, abnormally quiet, and stuck in time. As we finished the drinks, a man in a van pulled up, got out, got a pickaxe and a spade out of the back, and looked us over and said, "Oh, visitors," and went inside the pub. We got back in the car as quickly as possible and left within a matter of minutes. We were on the road and we all recognized, and we were on the road that we all recognized, and the sun was shining once again. The whole thing was so bizarre and unbelievable, and it's all we could talk about for the rest of the journey home. We were trying to understand the situation, the unrecognizable roads, the old timey clothes, and the overall feel of the place, and how the people reacted when they saw us as if we were aliens. So that's my story. The memory of it is all so clear, and I'll never forget the expressions on their faces. We still talk about it to this day, 12 years later, all our memories so clear. It was possibly the strangest experience of my life, and I feel like I wanted to share my story on here to get others' opinions, and if anyone had experienced something similar. Thanks for reading.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm glad I haven't had that experience. I hope not to, because I think that would drive
Same.
me insane.
I guess when I was reading this, I was wondering like when did soft drinks come out? Like,
Mhm.
if they ordered like a Coke or something,
Yeah, it was mixed.
yeah.
Like there's a place, maybe I don't think in Rochester. I think there's a place in Boston or something that still does it like the original Coke, the way that Coke was originally mixed. You get to a syrup and then the thing, and then they mix it together. Um, but the one question I had, and I don't know if you want to even scan back into the thing, like when the guy with the pickaxe came out of a car, I think it said
Van,
a
yeah.
van. Like, did they recognize that the van was like from 1940 or
Older.
something? Yeah.
Yeah. So they actually in the comments, they posted a link to the style of the van.
Mhm.
And it's like a classic, like old delivery van.
Okay. Yeah, because
Yeah.
that was like one of the first things because they didn't mention that. They mentioned the old timey clothes and stuff like, but that would
Mhm.
be, you know,
Yeah. So was it
interesting.
a time slip or was it like some kind of other dimension, because like they didn't
Mess.
recognize the road.
Yeah.
All of a sudden the road changed, but they were on the same road.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, it sounds like you know, it sounds like some of the other stories you see where you're driving along and you stop off. Like I think we had one stopping off in a diner, and the diner was like completely like uh active, and people were kind of like old timey looking and stuff. And then they left and they went to stop back at that diner and it had been boarded up. And someone said they were like, "Oh, it's been closed up for 25 years," you know.
Yeah. There's one like that in Jim Harold's Campfire. It's one
Mm-hmm.
of the classic stories that's been told, and I've seen her tell it on other shows too,
Mm-hmm.
actually. But she went to a concert with her friend and they stopped off at a bar in the middle of the night. It was like 1 a.m. and she had to pee and she was like, "Oh, this place is open." So they like went in and everybody stopped and turned and looked at them and they noticed a mural on the wall and all the people that were in the bar were on the mural.
Mm-hmm.
And one guy asked her if she wanted to dance, and she's like, "No, I have crutches. I can't dance." And they went and got a beer, and she had to use the restroom. And she came back out, and they were like, "Okay, let's get out of here. It's getting a little creepy." So they leave, and then she, for some reason, went back like the next day, and it was open, and the bartender was like a different bartender, and she looked at the mural, and I think it was like all different people on the mural, but like she had started to see her. Oh, this was the creepy part. She had started to see herself getting on the mural. Like there was a woman that unmistakably looked like
Oh
her, but
yeah.
it wasn't finished, and she had crutches and everything. And and then that's why she freaked out. And then she went back the next day, and they were like, the person working the bar was like, "I'm the only bartender here all the
Mm-hmm.
time, and we weren't open late last night. We're not even open that late."
Yeah.
And she was like, "What the, so that was but
Yeah.
she's told that story on so many podcasts and the story never changes.
Yeah.
So I think she did experience it. Again, a time slip, an interdimensional thing, who knows?
Mm-hmm.
I just find it fascinating.
There was like a Are You Afraid of the Dark or something where
Yes.
like they got painted into the mural or something.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
There's one where they go to a bar and like there's a bunch of people there and they were like it's a full moon on Friday the
Oh.
13th or something. And then they get like there's a haunted house and the guy like steals your soul and keeps you in the house. But the bar down the street is where he like they all go. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
And then there's what is the mural one? Um, Goodness, I can't think. But yeah, there's stuff
Mm,
like that where
yeah.
they start to
I
see
just
that stuff.
remember seeing it and the kids or
Yeah.
something being painted in.
Yeah.
Or maybe it was there's probably even a rendition of another one I'm thinking about where the parents were in the mural and they disappeared in real life. They didn't like exist, but they exist in the mural.
Yeah.
Something like
Yeah.
that.
There's one
Yeah.
like that. I can't think right now, but yes, there's a bunch like that. But yeah, go
Well, I
right up
hope
and
I
dark.
hope you all enjoyed the stories, right?
It's a
Um,
mini episode.
a little bit of a mini episode, but it's summer and we wanted to get you some, scares in there and some, terrifying tales. So,
Indeed. If you enjoy our podcast, I am asking that you share it with some other spooky bees that you might know. And then also, again, we're going to be at the RMSC Halloween party in
mm,
October. It's October 18th. And we are looking for stories or guests to read during that hour that we have. So I would love, love, love if you would reach out to us. That sounds terrifying at gmail.com. Or if you know Nick or I personally, we'd
yeah.
love to hear from you.
Pull us aside. I say, I have a scary tale for
Yeah, anything like that would be perfect. But other than that, thanks for listening, and we will be back with more scary stories soon.
you. Yeah. So whether it's a non-alcoholic drink in a pub that time lapsed or ghosts, keep your spirits up.